have you ever given thought to how much your cost of living is going to rise over the course of maybe 20 years of not working? Well, it might help you to look back at the past 20 years. Interesting exercise. I went through looking at an article, Dolph. The price for an orange has increased 120% since the last 20 years. Homeowners insurance has risen 174%. And prescription drug prices today are 252% higher than they were in the year 2000.
So what are you trying to say?
Things are
going to get more expensive as we go along?
Here's the thing.
Long story short? Yes.
Long story short, I knew that, but to hear it in these dollars and cents is jarring.
You don't realize it, do you?
And especially when we're not bringing in a regular paycheck anymore.
No, I mean, it's just amazing when you think, okay, I'm used to paying 49 cents for a cheeseburger, and now it's like 99 cents, and you're like, you just get used to the new norm, and you try to adapt to it. But is adaptation a good thing, Kristen?
Yes, you have to adapt. I mean, think about it. At work, sometimes you'll get a raise, but it might be 3% and things like that. But in retirement, as I understand it, there's no raises. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well over 80% of the clients I meet, and I ask them what their cost of living is. It can be a number, and we put it in our Ready, Set, Retire booklet that we give away, and we pull it out, and they're like going, holy moly, I'm about 15-20% wrong. And they're always wrong on the short end. I think they spend less than they actually do. And I remember this couple, Barry and Jacqueline. She likes to go by Jackie, but I like Jacqueline. I just like the way Jacqueline sounds. It's
a very pretty name.
My daughter watches Sophia, and they have Jacquelines on the show. But anyhow, this is a wonderful story that I think her birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. And so if she's listening, happy birthday to her. But they both had one of those lives like you don't want in anybody. I mean, Barry, his first two wives he was with, both died of cancer. He was married to the first one. I think he was like, don't quote me on these numbers, I think around 13 or 14-year-old and had two kids with. And the second one he was like around 10, 11 years old and had another child with. So he had a total of 3 kids. And then he met Jacqueline, and Jacqueline lost her 2 first husbands to medical illness. One of them was cancer, one of them was another illness but she only had 2 kids. The good news that Barry and Jacqueline, they made a lot of money.
Okay.
So they made a lot of money. They had a lot of things in common. They were huge risk takers. I mean, if there was a poker table open, they were playing poker. If there was money in a stock, they'd throw it in a stock. They didn't care. They really didn't care because they thought they made so much money. They had no structure. The first time I met with them, was like 3 years ago, one of my company golf outings, they came there. And we sat down and we talked, and we did the cost of living adjustment. We did the sequence return. We did the whole blown out, and they were actually listening. And over the next several weeks, reality started coming inside of their mind. It's like that light bulb, just sometimes it flickers and it finally goes off. And they wanted to retire. And they're like, well, wait. They're like, Barry, we don't have enough money to retire. If we're going to keep on spending the amount of money that we're spending now. A few tweaks, a few adjustments. Happy to say they're now both retired as of last year. They bought a beautiful home right off of Pinehurst number 5. I get to go out there about every 2 months, and they invite me out there for the weekend. Haven't done it recently because of the pandemic. And now their spending habits are in check. They're actually enjoying life according to them more. And it's just a wonderful feeling knowing that someone was there and they've gone through heartache and never thought they'd get to it. And I think what the end of the day, Kristen, was they're spending that money because they kept on thinking of their spouses that passed away, and they wanted to spend their money while they had it now.
And enjoy things together.
Right. And now they realize, well, heck, we could be, just because they passed away doesn't mean we're going to pass away.
Yeah.
And now we need to have this money for the rest of their life.
But you know, Dolph, I can't blame them for that mindset after what they both went through, things that many of us listening can't understand, but we also have to have perspective. And the what if is what we wonder about. They're worrying about a negative what if that many of us are not having to focus on. But there's also the what if you live another 20, 30 years and you've got to fund that life. So Dolph has put together, he mentioned it, that Ready, Set, Retire packet that's helpful to couples like that, could be helpful to you. Another complimentary resource available if you call 704-919-0149.